hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a quite frosty 26-degree Monday, the 2nd of December. Look at all that. It's cool looking, huh? Everything's all nice and crispy. I hear what sounds like one of those tree eaters, you know, the ones that grab them and cut them down. But there's pretty much fields going that way. Within ear's length anyway, I can hear the birds all shuffling through the trees here. Anyway, it's very beautiful. Very cold. 26 degrees this morning. I think it's like 29 now. So she's cold. Plenty cold. We're leaving a little late because there was a crazy traffic thing there going through Kelso. So we can either sit here for, it's like a half an hour to get through it. We can sit here and wait a half an hour, or just sit in the car idling along waiting for a half an hour. So we waited here instead. So looks like it's clearing up, so we're rolling out. Welcome to the day. 38 degrees and beautiful sunshine here in Van Chulo.
There's no fog here.
Yeah, no fog. Fog finally lifted, I don't know, somewhere around other side of Woodland, I think it finally left up. But it's nice. It's very nice out there.
Yes, Hardee's.
Mama?
No, probably Bacon's coat, because it's the heaviest coat I got.
Oh, yeah. That green one, I don't know how anything can be any warmer than that thing.
This one is, it's got like fleece and several layers.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mama, let's go in there and bust out a Monday.
Oh, that sounds like a
All
plan.
right. I'll see you in the passage there,
All
Mama.
right.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you,
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So my first job of the day is this beautiful 23 R9T Scrambler, Opt-719. Yeah, buddy. So he's in for his running in service, and also he's putting an aftermarket shock on it. This one is non-ESA, so it's all, everything's a manual adjustment on it. And he's got a guard that comes down and keeps the dirt off the shock. I haven't put one of those particular ones on yet, but we'll see how there's instructions are with it. Oh, cool. He's got the saddlebag set up. Or did the R9T come with that? The 7, I don't think it did, 719. But he's got that bag. I love the bag on these things. It's that roll-up bag. They're really cool. And I think it's only on the one side, which makes it even cooler yet. Yeah, it's just on the one side. That freaks some people out. They just like freak out. Motorcycles have been using one-sided bags since well before any of us that are alive were alive. It's nothing new. But one of the things I was gonna bring up when I got on here, always, whenever you take your filter off, make sure that O-ring is on that filter. I can't begin to tell you the nightmare that's about to become your world if you put that new filter on with the O-ring or the sealing ring, because they're kind of square, still attached to the engine, because both of them can't exist. And what happens is the one that's stuck to the case ends up spitting out. And if you've ever seen, I've seen a couple of techs that fire up motorcycles without the spin-on filter on there. The oil comes out of that like a water hose without a attachment on the end. And it just comes in pulses. It goes whoosh, whoosh. It will empty that engine within seconds. Well, needless to say, if that thing comes off while you're going down the road, one, you got oil hitting a hot exhaust with a catalytic converter, and the most importantly, it hits the rear wheel. If you've ever gone down because of oil on the road, yeah, it's real quick and immediate. You don't have a chance to react. I don't care how good of a rider you are. Things go crazy instantly. So make sure, and this is not uncommon when they're brand new, even though, we're preached to, wet the O-ring with clean oil. I got this bottle of 1550 is strictly for doing oil filters. It just sits off to the side. I don't use it to put oil in them. It was actually an empty bottle. I went over to the pump and just filled it up. That's what I do. As it gets low enough I can't stick my finger in there anymore, I go over there and top it back off again. Just sits off to the side over here. It's just for oil filters. But the factory doesn't seem to put enough oil on there, and they stick to the case. On the first service, they're almost always stuck. And the R9T, like the K1600s, use this odd filter that takes this crazy wrench to get them on and off. And what's rare about the K1600 and the R9T is you put the same filter back on. On everything else, this is the break-in filter. And a standard filter, which is about half again longer, gets put back on. But R9Ts use the same filter that comes, it's the break-in filter, and it continues to be the filter. K1600s have to be that way because of a room restriction. If you ever done your own oil filter on a K1600, you can barely get that thing past the shifter. So you couldn't put another filter on there. So the shock, that'll be nice. I don't know, I've never even heard of that brand before. It looks nice. It's not that expensive. In fact, it's not that expensive at all, so I assume it's, I don't know if you get them from eBay or whatever. I just haven't heard of this Tex suspension. But yeah, the price wasn't bad on that thing at all. The service rider was looking it up, trying to figure out time, look up instructions, say time. I just looked it up in air. It's not that big of a deal. But let me get the first service in the shock mud guard, I guess you could say. Well, actually clears more because a bunch of junk gets caught up in those things. The R9Ts don't seem to be that bad because most people aren't riding them that way, but a Scrambler is a Scrambler. You can go horsing around on this thing a little bit. You can do the same thing with that, right? There's no only difference is a name, and a lot of times they come with knobbly tires on there and boot gaiters on the forks. Other than that, it's the same R9T. The only one that's different is the Urban GS, if you remember that. It had taller suspension front and rear. It was standard forks like the Scrambler, but it was taller. Remember I had that red, white, and blue one I took home for a while? I was going to buy that thing. I was infatuated with it. But man, they've updated these things with the new fuel injection system. It's totally wireless. Remember the other ones were cable operated, a little tricky to balance the throttle bodies. And these just run so much smoother, and arguably too smooth. It kind of knocks some people just don't like it. They don't like that it knocks some of the character out of it, because these things were a little rough and raw and fun. They're rumbly. And these are like glass smooth in comparison. But they sure run a lot better, whole lot better. It's so much, fueling wise, they're so much smoother as well. But let me get back on her here. Well, I gotta say, that's a really nice setup. That's the company for the mud guard. Look, it even protects stuff flying out back of your leg. I mean, that has a lot of coverage. There's the stock non-ESA shock. That's the only mud guard you get with the stock one. Got the same deal over here. And there's this shock mounted in there. That's nice. That's really nice. So while I have this apart, because you have to get to the fill for the rear diff on these through the back side, so the wheel has to come off to drain the rear diff fluid. Even on these, they're using that fancy G3 stuff. It's crazy expensive. But yeah, they're switching everything to that. That's some good stuff right there. Apparently. the fill is underneath. I mean, I'm sorry, the drain is underneath like normal, but the fill, you go through the shock. That looks nice. I like that setup. You don't even know that mudguard's even really there. Help keep all that stuff all nice and clean in there. That's nice. And you can even, from the other side, you reach in there and click your, I don't know if that's a compression, rebound. It's got to be a compression. The rebound's going to be at the bottom, usually. But you can reach in there and click it still, even with the mudguard on there. That's nice. All right, let's finish her up. 47 degrees. And a little shop coat. This ought to be a little chilly. It is what it is. A key. Not many keys anymore. Oh yeah. Hello, mama. Service-wise, everything came out okay. Tires a little low on pressure, which that's the norm. So, speaking of tires, so dadgum Harley, you know how the BMWs, the RDCs is what BMW calls it. It's a German acronym for tire pressure monitoring system. But what displays on the dash to the rider is a temperature compensated value. So based on the temperature, it takes the temperature and the pressure, and it gives you the what should be 3642 on most BMWs. Even this is 3642. Also is the Harley. So I was looking in the book, and very interesting how Harley tells you at higher temperatures to add pressure. So essentially, they know it's going to be different. So they want you to literally add pressure over the 3642 for temperature. Anyway, so I think 68 is the base value, is what's considered a cold tire base value, and at 68 degrees it should be 36 in the front, 42 in the rear. So I set it at 3642, and I turned the thing on, so I thought, well, I'll just wonder where the dash is at, you know. So I flip over to that. Well, it was, I think 30. It was showing 34 and 41. So it was probably with 34. It's probably 35. It's just enough that it crossed over to 34. You know. Well, it's 62 degrees in the shop. That's the temperature I keep it at. Whether it's the heat of the summer, it's hard to get it to 62 in the heat of summer. But that thing is insulated so well. It usually stays at 62 degrees. The air conditioner doesn't have to run that much. That's only like a 10,000, 12,000, I think it's a 10,000 BTU air conditioner that's in there. And it absolutely, it seldom runs. What happens is when I open up the, ooh, this guy must be tall. His mirrors are pointing in the air. If the doors are open, we're messing around. Look at all that frost on the ground there. It's crazy. What was it? That one day I was coming back and I was heading towards going under the I-5 bridge, the rickety old bridge, and that's frozen right there underneath me. Wow, it is biting cold. Oh, look at this. Yeah, buddy, you want to be careful. That's all kinds of frozen. But I think it was 40 something. I forget what it was when I was down there, and that's what I was saying. Maybe the the bike is reading a warmer temperature than what it was. It could have been. I don't have anything else to test it against. I mean, I can look at my watch and my phone. They're going to tell me what the closest metering or sensor that it picks up in the area is what it's going to show me. Dadgummit, I didn't look to see what was coming before I creeped out. I'm good. What a pleasing bike these R9Ts are. I guess he had the shock set up for his weight kind of riding. I don't know if you call the people, and a lot of those have that. You say, here's my weight. I ride solo. I ride fast, intermediate. I putt around like an old man. Whatever the case may be. And they'll initially set the shock up. But whatever it's set up for. I haven't met the guy, but I'm not exactly small, and but it feels fantastic to me. It actually feels really, really good. Good looking shock too. Haven't heard of that company. I guess I could do some research, dig it up. These companies come about out of nowhere, and you go, who was that? Is that some eBay special or whatever? And come to find out there's some really nice brand. I have no idea. But the price is so reasonable, that seems shocking. But yeah, the shock does feel good. It is biting cold. I should have wore those 100%. I think I even got some warmer gloves in here. These things are just like wearing a knit glove. They don't, the wind just guides right through them. There ain't no warm glove about it. He does have heated grips. Set it at 2. I'll put some burn in it. If you have the tools, use them. Yeah, he's rolling. Lovely color, this thing, that green. I don't know what you call it, kind of a mustard color in between and the white. It's pretty. Yeah, these newer R9Ts, they just fuel so well. But it's definitely a smoother run. I don't know if they did changes to the engine, or did the fuel injection make it smoother? Who knows? It just tuned so right, it just runs smoother. Don't know. But they're noticeably smoother. Especially at lower speeds, they don't have quite the the rumble to them. Now when you're rolling, they were always really smooth. The same motor, essentially the same motor, was used in the RT, the Roadster Touring versions for quite some time. And it's based off in the late 90s or somewhere near the HP2. This engine was designed to run in the Battle of the Twins at Daytona. And yeah, they're much skinnier radial valves in the head. It's really cool. It ended up being set up as a production bike. Well, that's a nice small Garmin. That would be something nice. Doesn't have that fancy TFT display, but as long as you see everything you need. What's the nice thing about an actual GPS is the fact that it's, you don't have to worry about, did your trip cache in your phone? If it didn't, you get out of cell service and everything blacks out. Like I went to level 3 there. Oh no, I'm reading the wrong button. I seen the 3 dots on the top of the grip icon. It's the ones below it, the level, the heat level. Actually getting nicely warm, even despite having the big thick foam thing on top of the grips. Wow. The Kia suddenly decided I need to go 4 lanes across from where I'm at. That's pretty brave of you there, sir. Such a smooth running bike. And I love that, you know, the old air oil cool sound of these the older boxers. Fogging up already. I don't want to test out your. I'll let you do all the splash guard testing there. I don't want to be the one doing it. I had a really nice setup. Very well made. Very straightforward instructions. You're not hacking anything. You're pulling out 4 stock bolts, and there's 2 replacement bolts, and then there's like an adapter. It's kind of a shim, so to speak, spacer if you want to call it, but it's all built into, I mean, just very well done. Look at all the leaves are gone out of here. It's crazy. There's still got leaves falling around here. Oh, look at all these are. It's funny, you have a weekend, you come back and it's like, oh no, there's a lot more gone. These bikes, just all of them, all the various versions of the R9T are just super fun. Oh, look at that. Heck yeah, man. That's a rider there. Any chance it might even be halfway nice day, he is on it. I've seen where you know, it's raining out, he doesn't which I wouldn't either. Got some sunshine in our face, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Either the wind took it away or somebody come through and swept this thing. We'll just go right to the edge here and just give her a quick little walk around. They look different when you see them out in the wild compared to sitting in the light. Well, not really fluorescent lights. Well, I guess they are. Most of them are fluorescent. There's some of them that are LEDs. I mean, just your basic motorcycle. Spoke wheels, tubeless spoke wheels. I don't think those are BMW. Those are nice guards. I love that colorway. It's kind of cool looking. That bag that bolts on, it's one of those roll waterproof bags. If it's a BMW one, which it looks like it probably is. Got a nice little GPS, bar end mirrors. Yeah, look at that, where some stuff kicked up on it. That shock feels fantastic. He's a looker. Yeah, I love an R9T. Nice smooth rumble from that boxer. Acro exhaust stock. Yep. Ooh, that feels good. Getting back on in them grips. Yeah. Like, ooh, that feels good on the old tush tush. So I was telling Doug Morgan up up in the Great White North up there in Canada. Anyway, he made a little comment about his grips, and I didn't mention anything to you, but yet anyway. But man, when it got colder, and I even went up to level 3, like I was telling him, it's almost like they're being derated or something. Because at first, I mean, they're so hot you can hardly hold on to them at level 1. And as my hands got colder and I'm coming back, and it was, you know, truly cold out at that point, I swear, I mean, the amount of heat they're throwing off, I don't know if just because I was at higher speeds or what, I don't know. I'll have to play around with them and take a temperature gun and read them. But yeah, they're so hot at first, I mean, almost too hot, and then everything's cool, and then as it got cold, you know, I went to level 2, level 3, and it's almost you know, like it's not liking something and it's pulling the voltage back, you know, like it's derating an item or something, you know. I don't know. I'd do some tests, but I can tell you what, last night, or Saturday night and Sunday night, or Friday night, Saturday night, towards the end of the day, yeah, them grips weren't enough. But those 100%s are, you know, there's so much cold coming through that I think I put it in a funk, the gate. But anyway, my hands were so cold with the with them gloves, and the air is just flowing around them so freely that you know, there's nothing retaining the heat. I don't know. Very impressed at first, and then went to heck in a handbag afterwards. That first one's a 900 GS, the second one's a GSA 13. But the GSA has some kind of it's not a recall. Well, I think it might be a recall. I'll have to look. There's a sticker that has to be changed, and something about a pad or something. I never, that's the first I've even heard of the bulletin. That first one we had the switch assembly that had to be replaced. That was a recall as well. So now look at it. So it is not able to be sold with a recall at this point. So I hope that's not the one that's sold. But there's 3 more coming. Anyway, thanks for coming along for the rip. Them R9Ts sure are nice. Well, hello there, YouTube. Holy moly. Man, about the time we hit Longview Kelso area, we can start seeing fog. By the time we hit Toledo, lots of fog. Thick fog.
Very cold.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's blue skies. I have no idea. No idea. All there is fog. Mm-hmm. Now it's like 36. I bet it's below freezing here. It was 36 in town. We stopped at Red Apple to get a couple things, and I'm sure it's below freezing here. But anyway, that was a fun day. Despite all that, I got a nice ride in today on that R9T. That was nice. It was cold. Yeah, it was 47, but which isn't bad. But that jacket and light gloves, well, it just goes through you like a loose knit sweater, boy.
Yes.
Not much wind protection on that. But I think on that, we're gonna call it a day.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and you guys have an awesome Tuesday or Wednesday.
Thank you. All right.
We see you in the morning.
We'll see you then. Thanks
if it's frozen.
Yeah. Thanks for watching now.
Yes.
Bye-bye.